Next up, we are going to create the player character, which is Sprite 0 with the question mark on it. So we need to do some initialization. I'm very lazy here. You normally do this in a separate procedure. We'll have X player and Y player to have its current position. And we will use Sprite 0 for it, which we will put at X player, Y player. Now this is a sprite, not an image, so this one will move about. Now we also need a second event, because this one needs to move much more quickly. So T player, and we'll move it every 300ths of a second. And we'll have a function called move player, not draw player. And we'll again reset the player timer there. The time, the number there, the 3, is usually best discovered experimentally. It's a trade-off between processor time and how much you move. So you can double that and have it move twice as fast, and it has the same responsiveness, but it's jerkier. But it really depends on how much the processor can only do so much. Basic is not the most efficient, even though this one is actually pretty quick. But it can do this something like this pretty easily. So we want our procedure move player. So we're going to have some locals here just to show that off. So we want a fire, a delta x, a delta y, and leave it at that for the time being. So we will start off by reading the joypad, which is fire equals joypad dx dy. This reads the current state of the joypad, the game controller, into dx and dy, which are obviously delta x and delta y. They're -1, 0 or 1. Fire is the fire button status. At the moment, we don't have a USB joystick interface. This is on the to-do list. I haven't actually tried it, and so I don't know if the hardware will support it yet, or if the library will support it. But if it does, then if you plug a joystick in, or a gamepad, or whatever, it should just work. So we read in the state of our joypad, and we're going to adjust X player by adding 4 times the X onto it, because if you just add dx on, it will be rather slow. It should be 1 pixel at a time. It'll work, but it doesn't really make for a very exciting game. We'll add Y player similarly, and we will move sprite 0 to X player, Y player. We don't have to tell it the image again. It remembers that from last time. And that's it. Now, you'd normally obviously do a little bit more on here. This doesn't do things like trap it on the edge of the screen, for example. If it wanders off the screen, it will become invisible, and you won't know where it is. There are functions min and max that will do that easily, save sort of multiple if statements. But for the time being, we'll just leave that out.